Hey guys, how's it going? Underground Geek here. So I got another video for you. This is on Gideon Falls. This is by Jeff Lemire, and the art is by Andreas Sarantino. Now what was really cool is this is a jock cover. Now, truth be told, this is the only reason that I bought this book. See that cover? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jock, so I started following the book a little bit. And so the more I heard about it, the more I got interested in it. But the main reason I got it was because of the Jock cover. And then I kind of started to figure out, that it was actually going to be a good book. I think Dark Philly did a video on it, and a couple other people did a video on it. Weirdly enough, Dark Philly got a bunch of downvotes on this video when she was talking about how good it was. So that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But anyway. So this book is pretty cool. Now, the art style, you may notice, looks kind of familiar. It's the same artist that did Old Man Logan and the same artist that did that run of Green Arrow. That's because it's the same writer as well. They've teamed up once again to do their own story, and he's actually been working on it for a while. But we start out here, and this is like a supernatural detective story, if that makes sense. There's two different stories going on at the same time. So as we get started, you get this first page here. It looks pretty interesting. Why is he upside down? What's going on? He puts on some gloves. It was hard to tell what he was doing. This looked like rocks. Okay, this looked like rocks. This looks like rocks. So it was hard for me to really determine what he was doing. He was doing this right here. I was like, why is he kicking that stuff? And then it kind of find out he's actually going through the trash. But it took me a while to figure it out just because I wasn't really looking for that. So he starts looking through the trash. He finds this nail. He finds a couple other things. He finds that splinter. He gets the splinter. And I didn't know it was a splinter at first either because it's just like a dark thing. Puts it in a jar. Puts it in his stuff and leaves. And then whenever he gets home, he puts it with the other samples that he's got. He's got them at different places, different times. Puts it up there. And then you see he's got a bunch of them. He's got all of that. So what's going on here? I don't know. So then he takes all of his stuff off and gets some rest. But before he goes to sleep, he prays. Okay? He's like, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it in heaven. And he keeps on going on about this, and he says the whole prayer, and then says, Amen. There's a reason why he's doing that. Set up the character, because then comes the title page. Okay? And this is the title page here. And so let's get a little look at this here and check it out. Let's see, I'm trying to get my camera moved around. Jeff Lemire and Andreas Sarantino, with colors by Dave Stewart, lettering designed by Steve Wands, and edited by Will Dennis. So this is Gideon Falls 1.01, the speed of pain. So, then we completely change the story here. We have somebody driving in these fields. Turns out to be a preacher. There's the black barn. There's the ominous black barn. So there he goes, and he's like, Gideon Falls. And he's already drinking. So there's your first clue that something's going on. And they're telling a story here of the preacher got a new job. It's in Gideon Falls. The old preacher died. And so he's here. Now, I could probably see the guy from Westworld. The old man from Westworld that was all dressed in black, he would be good for this part right here. But all in all, it's a pretty good little story here so far. And then you've got this lady here. She's waiting to greet him, and she's one of those types that likes to tell you all about the situation even when you don't want to know about it, but then won't tell you what you want to know. You know what I mean? One of those grandma types. So she lets him in, shows him around, shows him where everything's at, tries to fix him some tea or coffee. He's not having it because he's tired. But then when he asks her about what happened to the old preacher, she won't tell him about it. So that's where that ends. So then we cut to the character again from earlier, and he's talking with his therapist, but he's still got his mask on while he's talking to his therapist. And my thing is, that therapist is awfully young. Like, how are you going to be a therapist to me and you're my age? You know, that's kind of threw me off a little bit. And she says, "Is this about the garbage again? You know that isn't real, right, Norton? This obsession with hunting through the trash, it's your disease, finding ways to express itself. And I've told you before, Dr. Zhu, I am not sick." She says, "Norton, I thought we were past this obsession." He says, "I know, but it's different this time. The city's trash is really showing me things now." And so that's when he starts talking about, he started piecing together something. He's getting all these pieces, nails, hinges, boards, things like that. He says it all fits to something. It goes to something. And that's when she tells him pretty much, if you don't stop, I'm going to have to put you back in the hospital. And he says he doesn't want to be in captivity like that anymore. He'll be good. But it won't let him rest, because as he's walking home, he sees something. It's another nail. And you can tell this is not a regular nail. This is an old school nail from like the 1800s. And so then we get this image here of the street, but we also get this image here of this church. And it's supposed to show you the opposites, the polarity of what's going on. So the preacher is now going to sleep. He's resting. But then he hears someone talking to him and says, "Hey, wake up. Hurry, hurry, hurry." So he jumps up, and standing over him is this creepy priest guy. He says, "Wake up. He'll notice I'm missing." He's like, "What? Father Tom, is that you?" So Father Tom runs off. He starts following him through the field. He can't really keep up with him. He's too fast. At the same time, we have the other character here. And you notice how they set them up almost like opposites. It's almost like Stranger Things, where you had the regular and you had the upside down. So there he is. He's looking through everything. The preacher sees footsteps, starts following the footsteps. And at the same time, we have the main character, Norton, here talking about how he almost told the psychiatrist about what was really going on, about what he's seen. It says, its true shape has revealed itself to me at last. I finally know what it is that I've been finding, and I've seen it. And it's the Black Barn. Pretty scary. And then you see his sketch there of the barn. Of course, it's upside down to show the opposite. And then the preacher sees blood, goes to check out what it is, and it's the old lady from earlier. She's dead. She's been killed pretty horribly too. And then that's when the other character says, "There is no doubt that evil exists. I've seen it, but now I know that I don't have to face it alone." So who has he seen? Has he seen the preacher, you think, maybe? Maybe he knows now that the preacher is involved, but doesn't know exactly how. But the preacher has been there one day and has already seen this death and these weird spirits. So it's pretty crazy at this point. Now this tells a little bit of the story about how Gideon Falls came to be. The writer and artist teamed up on Old Man Logan, and then Green Arrow, and then it says we also wanted to do something all our own, so we began discussing and doing a book for Image. The book was Gideon Falls. But the truth is that the origins of Gideon Falls go back a lot further than 2015. In fact, this story and these characters have been with me for over 20 years. And it's pretty cool because it's almost the same way I feel. The story that I'm writing now feels like I've been writing the same story for like 10 years, okay? Because I keep going back to that same story, wanting to writing it, and I'm changing it each time, But the main characters are almost the same. So I really feel what he's feeling, and I understand what he's talking about there. It said, you know, he goes all the way back to 1996, and he was 20 years old when all this started. So it's really cool. And then you get to see his original book that he did, Ashtray. He said he used to go around selling it himself. And then we get the cover there for issue 2, Gideon Falls. It looks like the preacher. So it's pretty cool. All in all, this is a very interesting book. It gets your attention. It makes it look a lot older than it is, and it's a little thicker too. I don't know if it's the paper, but the book itself feels thicker than a normal comic book. Like if I get Titans here, it feels a lot lighter than this. See how it doesn't move as much? So that's probably what it is. It's just a little bit thicker paper, which is cool though. I like when people take interest in, you know, keeping a good book and taking care of it. That way you get your money's worth. But I hope you liked the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is a good team, a good book. I think it's going to go far. It's very interesting to me, even though I don't normally like these kind of stories. It got my attention. And it's all because of recommendations. You know, people told me about it. Dark Philly told me about it. Some other people told me about it. And that's the reason I bought it. And that's what we're trying to do, is build this community of people that can tell you about these good books, to let you know what's coming out, like that Venom book with Donny Cates, and really promote that kind of stuff, and not so much being in clubs or groupthink or anything like that. We just want to promote good books, so that's what I'm doing. All right, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope this was a good video. I'll talk to you guys later. Underground Geek out.